loophole could have killer consequences in southern Idaho.
That's because in part of Yellowstone, it's not how to get away with murder, it's where. Fox 9's Lacey Darrow reports.
When people think of Yellowstone, usually they think about Old Faithful, roaming bison, and crystal clear streams. What may never cross anyone's mind, murder. In particular, how to get away with murder.
Well, that's pretty random. That's not something I would have contemplated.
An unsavory thought, to be sure.
Thanks for the heads up. Yeah.
I can't rest too easy or be too amused by this because really this is potentially a horrible thing that could happen.
Brian Kalt, a law professor at Michigan State, maintains the sliver of Yellowstone that rests within Idaho is the perfect place to commit the perfect crime.
According to my theory, they would have to let the person go.
I guess it's random. I guess you could do it if you were really crafty.
Sounds crazy, right?
It's strange, interesting, and I hope no one takes advantage of it.
In fact, the legality of a Yellowstone murder comes down to the old saying, location, location, location.
The Sixth Amendment requires that in a federal criminal trial, the jury be from the state and district where the crime was committed.
The thing is, no one lives in this portion of Idaho, so there's no one to choose a jury from.
Federal court districts follow state lines. Wyoming is in the District of Wyoming. Idaho is in the District of Idaho. Mostly, the 50-mile stretch of Yellowstone located in Idaho is in the District of Wyoming.
Because Congress, when they drew the district lines back in 1894, because they colored outside the lines here, they make it impossible for someone in that situation to get a proper Sixth Amendment jury.
So, purely hypothetically, if you, me, or anyone else were to say, partake in a murderous vacation to the remote Idaho section of Yellowstone, you might just maybe get away with murder.
Don't tell him where this area is.
No, so I can stay out of it or just be extra cautious. Wait a minute, did you sign those papers for the insurance?
Kalt acknowledges his theory is by no means airtight. Kalt says if you conspired to kill outside of the area, then committed the crime in no man's land, you could find yourself in hot water with the conspiracy charge. But as for a murder charge, you'd be guilty as sin, but still free as a bird.
For me, it just seems very far-fetched that anything would ever happen in that area anyway.
A common argument is that the state wouldn't just let someone get away with murder. They'd find a way to prosecute. But because it's federal land, the state has no power to prosecute crimes there.
Hopefully we're all good people up here and that doesn't happen.
Kalt says he doesn't encourage anyone to commit the crime. In fact, he wanted to find a solution to the problem.
I didn't want to call attention to this if I didn't have to. If I could get it fixed without anyone knowing about it, that would be great.
Andy says it won't take much to change the law.
So all they have to do is redraw the district lines and say the District of Idaho is Idaho, the District of Wyoming is Wyoming, but they haven't done that.
More than a decade after Kalt published his paper, the loophole still exists, and Kalt's not giving up, but he's tackling this fight far away from Yellowstone.
I wouldn't go there for all the tea in China because I just know the irony gods would have a field day with that if I set one foot in that place.
Lacey Darrow, Fox 9 News at 9.